How to deal with balding. This is the fourth video I'm making on balding. This video was about looks, but can also apply to balding. But because it wasn't about balding specifically, I won't count it. But still a good video to check out with a good message. I don't necessarily want to make more videos on this topic. I want to make other videos too. But I know that balding is such an issue for so many men. So I feel obligated to as part of that community. So you are balding, what are your options? Luckily, there's only two options. You can only pick one or the other, so it's not going to be overwhelming. You can either accept it or fight it. To accept it means you go out and you live a normal life. Maybe you shave your head, or maybe you just let it be and have more of a horseshoe grown in look. Personally, I don't get that look, but I can't even tell you how you choose to accept it. Accepting it is accepting it. Fight it means you grow your hair out in a certain style. Try to fight the fact that your genetics are balding. Maybe get a hair transplant or two. Taking medication to prevent further hair loss, with the chance of some potential side effects that you may or may not notice and may experience or you may not experience.
You take this stuff and it washes away the byproduct of testosterone. But we don't know what else that might be being used for that could be good in the body. But anyways, right, so I've been like holding on to the hair pretty good.
Right.
But then when we decided that we were gonna have children, I didn't know what, was it okay? Is it safe to take when you're
Maybe you shouldn't be on that if you're trying to have a baby, yeah.
So I stopped taking the stuff about 3 years ago, and now I'm experiencing the hair loss.
Get some hair shampoo, use a derma roller on your scalp, poke some holes to help the blood flow in that area where you're lacking. And this should really help you maintain the look of someone who isn't balding. What did I choose? To accept it or to fight it? This was the first time I shaved my head, and I got it on video, and I'm glad I did. I didn't accept it back then. That's not why I shaved my head. I was curious if I could like how it looked. At the time, I had what I thought was at least 90% of my hair. So I decided to shave it off, and if I didn't like it, I could always grow it back. That probably sounds familiar to some of you guys. You can always grow it back. I won't lie, with that mentality, knowing that my hair could grow back, it made it easier to shave my head. Once I did, I noticed that it didn't grow back evenly. And my hair is very straight and fine. It makes hair loss very noticeable. Some of you don't have this hair type. It's very transparent, and you can notice when you lose a small amount because it does not take a lot of space, unlike thick and curly hair. This video made me realize I would go bald. Not if, I would. All the little insecurities I had and all the doubt, it came true. But because I was young and only lost 30% of my hair, compared to the 50% of hair loss that most guys lose before they notice, I had more time to reflect. If you just wait until you can visibly notice hair loss, you probably lost about 50% of your hair. That's average. You won't visibly see it. Once you lose 50% of your hair and you're able to notice hair falling out every single day, you're in panic mode and you're getting emotional. Your emotions at that point are taking over and they're controlling your decisions. You're more likely to go and schedule a doctor's appointment, go ahead and order finasteride like ASAP because you feel like you don't have time. Yes, it's good to learn to deal with shit younger, but if you're not young, that isn't the point. It doesn't really matter. And that brings me to today. I chose to accept hair loss. In today's society, we are more likely to go with the flow of the norm. Back in the day in the US, bald heads were not normalized. And then the era of MJ, Michael Jordan, and others came into the public eye and they normalized balding. But in today's world, with all these companies and ads like Keeps and others, it's reversing. The men in society know that hair loss is man's #1 insecurity. There isn't even a close second. Look at this clip.
So there's like thousands upon thousands of men out there in the world who have done millions of men.
Oh yeah, this is the most common considered cosmetic or aesthetic procedure for men.
#1 in cosmetic procedures. The normal thing to do is to go on YouTube, type how to fix hair loss, and you're gonna get more videos of young men choosing to fight hair loss and what they're doing, not accepting it. Just know, normal isn't always the way. I want you to know that while hair loss is man's biggest insecurity. What's also normal is that men are weak mentally. They go hand in hand, and that makes sense. I really don't want to make this about looks, but yes, every single man would look good with a set of hair and a beard. But that is every single man nowadays. If you have that, that's fine. But why are these companies so successful? It's because men are weak mentally. How I accepted it. Now, obviously, I can't speak on fighting it. I never tried, and that isn't the route I chose. Starting young gives you an advantage with everything, and that includes balding. I shaved my head, and so many men can't even do that. But because I was younger, I still had hair, and I was able to grow it back. 90% of my insecurity went away. And I did it again professionally, and I recorded it again, because I wanted to remember this moment for the rest of my life. 95% of my insecurity went away. Going from long hair or a lot of hair on your head to 0% hair shaved off your head with a towel on your head, getting the closest shave humanly possible, is a big step. It's easier to do it in smaller steps. Buzz it down, then buzz it down as short as possible, then shave it with the grain, and then shave against the grain. Or fuck it, be mentally stronger than me and go all out, no fucks given. I was able to do it in 2 steps. I buzzed my head first, and then I shaved my head, and I continued to shave my head. And guys, by this point, 90 to 95% of my insecurity about this thing I had was gone. That means 90% of the time, I was totally fine. I was happy. And then like 5 to 10% of the time, this bitch would creep up in my head and tell me these insecurities. But it was rare. I do feel like you do owe it to yourself to have the strength to shave your head, just so you can see. If you can't even do that, then I don't think you should be considering taking drugs. It makes no sense. The next reason I chose to shave my head was because I would not be okay with myself. Lucky enough to have a mother who used this saying, "My son, you should love yourself because there are people without arms or legs." It didn't mean much, but one day it hit me. How am I going to complain about my hair? It opened my eyes to mental strength. You ever heard of first world problems? You didn't think hair loss was one of them, did you? It fucking is. The head shave is you in the real world saying, I don't give a fuck. Why? Because it's not important, and you don't hold it with that importance. And that's mentality. Knowing that I want to better myself in all aspects, but I can't mentally. That's something I can't live with. And losing my hair gave me mental strength to see past the bullshit. I also learned in real life about self-improvement because my mental game was stronger than it was before I shaved my head. Why would I try to keep the hair? That was the starting step towards working on my mental game. My mental game would decrease, and comfort is its biggest enemy. Realize that there are levels to mental strength, and real world shit is a level of it. Females, you know the definition of a simp? It's someone that does things for females. Men, we go off logic. You could sit here and tell me, I really like how I look with hair. And that can be true. But once you realize that you're balding and you need surgery or surgeries perhaps to fix it, cosmetic surgeries. Surgeries are supposed to be for when your health is on the line. And then you find out you need to take daily medication that may or may not have side effects. Well, that's when we draw the line logically, right? If fixing your hair was as simple as just eating a piece of candy with no side effects, no surgeries, then sure, do that. But that's not the case. So going out of your way so much, I can only imagine, is for the fear of getting girls. Anyone could be that guy. Everything you do is for increasing your chances with girls. You're out at bars every night, getting hair transplants, drinking, spending hours doing pickup. All your time is spent there instead of doing things for yourself and letting the girls enter your life naturally. Closing remarks, I want to make clear that the mental side of it was one of the biggest reasons why I chose to accept hair loss. Because shaving my head is a level of mental strength, and taking that away is going a step backwards mentally. I want to get to the highest level of mental strength, and anyone can do it. I'm not special. Second, I don't mean to offend anyone. I hope this was an interesting perspective and helpful to allow you to decide what you want to do. See you guys soon.